Welcome to GameBreakers. My name is Thomas. I'm here with Allison, David, and Diamond, and we are playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. This is our game, A Bard's Tale. When last we left our intrepid heroes, you had just had a long period in a brief instant around the heart of an archfey, which twisted time around you to give you a break in the battle, as you had cleared out a wave of giants, and they seemed to be regrouping around what you discovered to be their general, Baelor, a fearsome Fomorian astride, the largest bullet you've ever heard roar, out in the mist. We'll start the scene with the camera at eye level in the muck, jostling around a little bit, and hooves clatter in front. Just rank after rank of hooves. The camera moves up, and centaurs are charging through the marshlands in waves through the safe passageways. They're carrying saddlebags full of pixies. At the point of the wedge is a large, extra large centaur, still painted like a referee, with following a sprite armed with a silver-tipped needle with an acorn cap. The camera lifts and zooms over the mists, sweeping over the swamp into a great depression, a giant bowl with terraced marshes on the sides. At the edge of the bowl, of the flat, is a rank and file of Fomorians being organized at whip crack by Baelor. Riveted armor, metal plated onto his own skull, eyes in strange places with gaps in the armor to make way for them. Wielding a whip with two hands, beating Fomorians into line. They surge forward in an orderly fashion. One of them tries to break ranks, and the bullet just snaps over to one side and two gulps and it's gone. And they begin to pick up speed. The camera too sweeps in over a line of tree ants with two rows of trees behind them, braced and interwoven, ready for a charge on any side. And at the center, around Snailroot, there is just appearing in the strangely warped time space the wounded warrior, Viscount Inurian, the lord of these lands, the Earl Duke of Gloomhollow, the Vicomte. I just said his friggin' title. Anyway, he finishes appearing around the beating heart that is keeping this temporal whirlwind around you, and sort of floats down to the feet. He's dressed in hardened bark armor woven with metals and studded with spikes. He carries a bow and a falchion, as well as several small knives. Very sort of the classical fey features that you would sort of expect, but heavily scarred by claw strikes. But the very, very long pointed ears, the sort of usual fey characteristics, does not seem to be winged. And Snailroot kneels before him. And he drops to the ground. Rise, 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 defender. You've done good work. I do not recognize these soldiers from our ranks, and he motions to you. Snailroot points. Mortals have interceded.
Having heard the bullet, I am like sitting on the ground, like I can see it, and my hands are on my knees and my head is between my legs and I'm just breathing. Like, she was already pale. She is, like, badly pale right now. Like,
I'm going to give you a point of inspiration.
I'm just studying the new arrival.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly a fae. Like you've it's an archfey. It's who you've been expecting. About 7.5 feet tall. Like very, very long, long of limb.
I'm looking at him as if I'm drawing him, but I'm just doing it in my head. I'm just cataloging this entity.
Okay. Lovelace sort of instinctively moves to bow. If I remember right, she's a fey creature, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Just instinctively, like, drops the front one of the front limbs and tilts downward in a show of respect.
I think when I feel that, I follow suit.
Yeah, if she don't,
oh yeah.
If you don't, she'll wiggle her butt a little bit and sort of like
I would say her
forward.
moving, like snaps me out of my attention and just right.
Right. That was probably part of her intention. She knows you. And Stan, where are you placed?
Where am I placed?
Yes. Like what are you doing as you are waiting for this being to arrive?
Not much drinking, if there's drink. I'll bow as well as they, not like super deep, but respectful.
Okay. You do. Snailroot speaks quickly in Sylvan. I don't know if any of you, well, quickly for a tree. I don't know who. Anybody here speaks Sylvan? Remind me. Sylvan speakers. Nada. Okay. Well, all right. They have a brief exchange in Sylvan, and the warrior seems to nod and like looks at you guys with a little bit of respect. You see his demeanor soften a little bit. He's not so suspicious. Well, I don't know how you came to be here, but I appreciate your help thus far. For now, and he looks at Snailroot. It is war. I shall retire to the keep to activate the defenses of the marsh. My heart will remain here to support Snailroot's defense of the road. I understand we don't know for certain exactly how Baelor will deploy himself, whether he attacks directly through our defenses or attempts to sideline them with his beast. Either way, I would appreciate if you, he gestures to the mortals, as our most mobile combatants, are ready for anything.
I do my best.
Your service will not be forgotten, and it will be rewarded. I appreciate nobility wherever it is found. Have you any questions before I retire? He motions to Snailroot and you all. Snailroot just sort of shakes his branches.
Yeah. I was. Can I look up and function for a minute? Looks like I can. Does not an out of character question? Does is this an archfey?
Yes.
Okay. then I actually don't have anything. Are there any particular things we should know about defeating the Fomorians? That's the question I need to ask. Yes. Sorry.
You seem well versed in the methods. If the tales Snailroot tells are to be told, and I've never known Snailroot to lie.
I know how to kill them.
Alright, keep killing him. I can do that.
That is all I could ask.
Oh, war is so simple. I love it.
I wish it were so. Perhaps in your realm, primate. By the way, that's not the first time you've heard an extra-dimensional being refer to you as primates in like maybe derogatory manner. It's not about monkeys, it's about the prime material. Just so you know, like you'd have maybe a little background about that.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, so how are we on evolution, and is that something that's accepted in this world? Like, how does that work?
No, never addressed. Nobody's thought much about it. It's all a wizard did it, or a god did it, or it's just the way it is. Darwin hasn't appeared yet. But no, yeah, you are from the prime material, a primate.
Well, I mean, I think Darwin's appeared, but he's a gnome, so nobody takes him seriously.
Yeah, he's my uncle.
Give him 300 more years, he'll perfect the theory. Anyway. The Vicomte then retires and heads up toward the Crooked Tower, where you had not so long ago met with your friend Unvele Masrock, the Darkling assassin.
That's the first time I think we've heard his last name. Masrock, really? He definitely, not a Rolling Stone. He's the opposite of a Rolling Stone. That's okay.
He is patient and waits.
Unville slot, I mean.
So, what do you all do? May I remind you, last evening you all partook in a hero's feast. Please remember those buffs.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did forget that. Thank you.
Every call it like the last 45 minutes worth of waiting. Give me a perception test. I think if anybody wants to teamwork ClickClack on this, I think ClickClack's the only one with a shot to make it.
I already did advantage.
I will, yeah. What's a double advantage?
I mean, if you want to give me double advantage, I'm not going to argue.
You would have disadvantage for distance and blindingness. So to keep advantage, you may need teamwork.
Yeah, that's fine. 19. Those were not good rolls.
It's enough that you see the water in the marsh where there's standing water. You see ripples like flowing in multiple directions. Like they're starting to get like little pops where the puddles are rippling out and back into itself, as though there is a mighty pounding of many large creatures somewhere in the vicinity.
Noted.
All right. Weirdly, you guys aren't in a time crunch, so right, the enemy is bearing down at full speed. Take your time.
We get
That's unusual for you
if
guys.
nobody looked up the Hero's Feast, that's a maximum hit points increased by 2d10.
Yeah.
I'm looking for my other d10.
I'll just roll that for everybody.
Oh, fine.
8.
Bottle.
All right, you can all roll for yourselves. Fine, since time had already started.
No, I didn't actually roll anything yet. I'll totally take the 8. But
Okay. The Hero's Feast for the Treants, the animated trees were not included, but the Treants, weirdest Hero's Feast you've ever seen. A lot of composted materials, very rich, dark, mycorrhizal soils. You see, sugary, molassesy compost. It's horrible stench to anybody that eats like food as you know it. But they seem to enjoy it.
I eat with druids, it's fine.
Right.
the wine I'm drinking is called Soldiers of Fortune. I think this is very appropriate right now.
Well, good.
Anything
All
that
right.
gives me good luck, I'm okay with.
What do you all do?
Drink wine. Practice spells. Try not to have a panic attack. Probably occasionally have a panic attack.
You remain in the bowl?
Bowl or bubble?
The bubble? The time area?
I want to try and have a conversation with ClickClack and Stan.
Yep. I'm just here drinking.
I don't look so good. So, he's going to declare war. That Archfey is going to declare war. Which is going to change this area. However, he may be able to, he said that if we help, it won't be forgotten, and my friend had said that if we, essentially an Archfey are the only ones who are powerful enough to potentially assist us with going back in time before the Druid's home burned. So, helping suddenly becomes in our best interest for that. I assume we're going to get out of this alive because it seems like the better assumption, because if we don't, anything I say is meaningless. But we still need to go look for that book. I still have a responsibility to going to the dark market. I have it's written down here somewhere. The underground, and trying to find. Thank you. Wait, maybe I definitely wrote it down somewhere. Merkroot Trade Moot, the Rural Borough Mural Bureau, and finding the book that our Banana's friend was trying to find. Yeah. I would rather not do that alone, but I just want you guys to have that data if you need to make decisions in the future.
Does that interfere with saving the forest from burning?
If it's time travel, right? It wouldn't matter when we go back as long as we go back there, as far as I know. So I don't want it to, and if we'd have to split up for that, then I would understand that, and then we'd just have to do that. But I'd rather be there with you all to protect it. But I also have to do this thing. This is part of the deal. This is said quietly. This whole conversation, I'm at least having this quietly, and if, somebody seems to wander by or whatever, it's going to be you just take a minute to, sip your drink and look concerned, and I wait till they pass, and then...
Snailroot is at the center of the circle. There's probably no escape. I mean, you're under his branches for most of the circle, so there's really no escaping probably any eavesdropping there. Snailroot, however, seems to be like he is clutching a holy symbol and praying fervently.
Ooh, ritual. And then if we have any time, I'm just gonna see if like I can get ClickClack to teach me some Gnomish, take my mind off other stuff.
You learned that I'm a terrible teacher.
It's like, what are like 4 words? Knowing that I'm precise with questions, like, what are like 4 words that would be useful for me to be able to say to you on a battlefield? And then work on those and using those in sentences. Like, just anything to keep me from, like, hearing that boulette again and being like...
I teach her 2 phrases. Shoot that, stop shooting that.
So 45 minutes go by.
They're related phrases, so that should save some time.
Yeah, in common.
Do thing, don't do thing.
Right, add thing, but negative. So, 45 minutes later, ClickClack, give me another perception check with advantage.
23.
Your second roll was a 27.
20. Yes, 27.
If you want to take the 23, I'll let you.
It took a while. It took a minute for that second part to load, so I just read the 15.
Oh, lag. All right,
Yeah.
So
27.
with the 27, as you've been speaking Gnomish, you've also been aware peripherally of a pattern emerging over a long period of time in the ripples of the water, and the sort of droning sounds that come from the other side of that strange time threshold begin to formulate in your mind, and with what you know of giants and their marching methods and the time between strides and rhythm and precision and all the things that go through your head, you begin to you are starting to get a sense of the direction from which they're charging, and as well as the numbers on the way. And those numbers are somewhere in the 500 to 550 range.
Snail root.
Yes.
There's at least 500 coming from that direction.
Then I shall have my next week's worth cut out for me.
Okay.
We have no option for retreat. We must hold. Or die. What do you guys do?
Wait till I can see them.
Okay. You have a definite direction. They are coming from over here, from off to the east, and they're also coming not directly but at an angle to sort of the defensive barrier.
And how far away are they from us?
Your best guess, ClickClack, is at this moment somewhere around 400 feet.
How long will that take time-wise?
In here, at their rate of travel, two days at most.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'd rather keep my Hero's Feast active, and I'm gonna go step up just outside the bubble until I can just get them in range, like within the 120-foot range, and then step back inside the bubble. And I'm going to tell these two that that's my plan, because I don't want to, like, I feel extra good right now. Like, I'm freaking out, but I feel like we can potentially do this,
Right.
and I don't want to lose my opportunity to do this. So
You're
are you
immune
all...
to fear.
I'm immune to being frightened, which is not the same thing as being immune to fear. Do you all want to step outside with me and get it moving, or you need to do something?
I asked Snailroot if he can manipulate the earth outside.
Not really. Not in any effective way in combat.
Can he grow shrubbery?
I can create a thorn wall.
I need it.
I mean like small, low bed of bushes.
Within the circle?
Outside the circle.
No. Not in any permanent way.
Okay. Is it 2 days within the circle or 2 days outside the circle?
2 days in the circle. Outside, they are bearing down. They're just starting to lope into the charge.
Okay. I've been studying this long enough that I can know what I'm doing. First thing I do is let's see if I have this timing figured out right in my head. At the edge of the circle, within the circle, I fire as many arrows as I possibly can.
You will make them fight in the shade.
I am providing my own volley from inside the dome.
Okay. What is your... Oh, go ahead.
And then, like, I do that with a lot of the arrows he's made me, and then I take mine outside.
What is your maximum range?
What's the range on a bow when you don't have to worry about range penalties?
I feel like maximum range is like 320 on a longbow or something.
Longbow... Hang on. Range, 150-600.
Oh, 600! Well, you can hit him.
He can start hitting them now. I cannot hit them yet.
I want the full-on, like, you know, Lord of the Rings gesture and then rain. Except it's just me setting shit up inside the cello.
And Lovelace is just like waiting for a couple of shots and moving about a foot left and waiting for a couple of shots and moving and then going right and down a little bit. So it's like clustered just right.
And I can hear where they're coming from, so I know where to aim.
Yep. Okay. So you have 2 days to do that if you're going to do it until they engage.
I'm basically... I've set aside a quiver's worth in case I need it.
Okay.
Of what he's made. And everything else he's made me is now going towards the hail of arrows.
Okay. Okay, so you're blowing all of the ones that the trees had grown special for them on this one. Okay.
And then
Right.
I'm taking mine with me.
Okay.
I have a question. How does is it possible to combine? No, never mind. There are other pieces of data that wouldn't work. Never mind.
All
Ignore
right.
me. Ignore me.
So, Stan, what are you also headed out with Struana?
Yeah.
Okay. So you and Struana step out of the circle, and behind you, just like a volley, like a stream of arrows volley out behind you, just in clusters and chunks. It's like somebody opened a river that had arrowheads and fletching on it. It's you see from your perspective a little gnome just like blurring around at maximum speed in this area, and
Darken the sky.
Nice.
that's exactly what happens, by the way. Like there is a patch of shadow and the fog gets dark underneath the river. What dim light there was remains even dimmer. I mean, it doesn't mechanically change it, but from outside the circle, you can immediately hear the effects of giants being hit with arrows. Do either of you speak giant?
Saving those spells, thanks.
Good. All right. Well, I don't have to invent giant curses, but a lot can get transmitted by tone, even without a shared common language. You definitely like hear the charging coming, and you are assailed with the noises of ClickClack's arrows hitting meat.
I don't have any like raw beef sides to go slap.
And
That's a
through the fog, you can hear that they're much closer. Like they have cut the distance probably in half. They're like it's thunderous. And
is it a perception roll? I'm trying for like 120 feet. 150 will do. And stepping back in pretty really close to that.
Okay.
Is it a perception test to tell how close they are? By sound?
Yeah. Be disadvantaged. I mean, you're essentially blinded. So.
Hey, Stan. Can you help me try and figure out how far away they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a 19 on my first roll.
Okay. And advantage from Stan?
Yeah. Do I need to roll for that?
Nope. You just give her advantage.
Not better.
Okay.
Not better?
19 is what I got.
There's probably some in range. Like you feel like they've closed in through that, and like there's a bulk of them in that direction, in that range.
And what was that time period between when ClickClack said they're about 600 feet away to now? Was that like 5 minutes?
About
3 minutes?
6 seconds.
About 6 seconds. I'm going back in. Stan, let's go.
Okay. I'm more of a close range kind of guy, he says.
Yeah, but they'll be in close range soon, and you do you, but stay where we can see you.
You do you.
Just like Stan's been drinking. I'm not gonna stay where we can see you. Harm reduction, man.
Yeah, with that, then he's gonna stay out and then and rush them. His
Okay.
his steed is nearby. He will mount it.
Yeah, I'm springing back inside where it is easier to zap the thing. Zappily.
All right.
And watch out for land sharks, Stan. As I
Click. Are you sticking outside or inside?
Stan is staying outside?
Yeah.
I swear in Gnomish under my breath. Grab those, mount up, make sure I have all my stuff. Goggles down, out.
Okay.
Full on charging scuttle.
All right. We will roll initiative. Struana, you will have 1 day per round. So you can blow every spell you have
Cool.
every round. I've thought through a lot of the ways this could go. That's yep.
My
This is
initiative is
definitely on the
only
list.
not. This is a great time for me to roll an initiative of 9. This is the best time for that to have happened.
Well done.
I honestly, I think you can just announce on every turn something you're doing, because again, you are at such an accelerated time rate. You can really just afford to just wait a few minutes and like wait for it. Wait for it. So that's what Snailroot does. As he's casting out, he spends a lot of time just picking his moment. But let's all roll initiative.
23.
8 or 9, rather.
6.
2, 3, 4. No, this is
How about Lovelace?
You're making her go different than me?
Not unless you'd like.
Mm-mm.
That is totally up to you.
We are a well-oiled machine.
All right.
Same with my steed.
And Baylor. Huh. Awesome. Well, there's a lot of action in the 8 and under category in this initiative turn.
Ha 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 ha.
Slow and steady.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so go ahead and set up your tokens where we are. So, because I mean, movement counts now.
What direction were they coming from?
This way. Oops, I have to click on your layer. This way.
that way.
East on the map, and they're coming at an angle. Not directly into the circle, but they're coming at in sort of a wedge.
So
Like
southeast?
off-center wedge. Yeah. They are traveling from the southeast. Yes.
Yeah. Here-ish.
Top of the initiative is ClickClack.
How far out of the circle did I get?
As far as you like, really. You guys had the whole round to set yourself up into range. So within one round of movement.
Round.
One round of movement.
Okay.
Oh, man. I got too freaked out by the idea of land sharks to remember to give you guys inspiration dice.
That's alright, you got one. For
Oh,
being
but
so freaked out.
PTSD is a bitch, man. Jeez.
Also, Stan, for going into battle drunk, point of inspiration, and ClickClack for your firing in the shade, point of inspiration. I'm trying to get better about this.
First thing I do is cast Longstrider on Lovelace.
Okay. I
Let's
believe as your companion, you two can share that, but it doesn't really matter because you don't actually move.
Yeah. If I'm getting off of her, something horrible happened.
Right, and then you're probably just going to stay in one place and cry for a while.
Yeah. Just go catatonic. Or just go insane and kill everyone with my bare hands.
Take scalps. Legend of the Fall reference? No? Alright. And this is not difficult terrain for you. You have your movement as you like it.
And I have Lovelace off here in the corner just because we're moving as one, so...
Okay, you take it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Before we exit, or like right as... No, it will make more sense. Right after we exit the circle, first thing I do is cast Longstrider on her, and she spends full movement getting as far ahead of the curve as we can.
Okay. So she would take what? Move and dash?
Yeah. If her,
Okay.
her full turn is moving 80 feet.
All right. Well, you may end up pulling back on the reins. Your passive perception within 60 feet will see a looming hulk in the shadows, at least 30 feet above you, like with a humanoid shadow above it, like pointing toward the line. You have definitely discovered the leading edge, and I will make at least that portion of the host.
I would have seen that before getting there.
They have, like, it had just now gotten into that range. Like, at the end of last turn, it is still moving there. And actually, let me, in point of fact, double check my measurements and make sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Addendum then. I moved in a straight line, basically, out from the circle.
Uh-huh.
As the DM, you tell me where I would have seen them, and that's where I stop.
Right about as you got to the trees.
Where was I in my path when I got a clear view of them? Because I wouldn't stop where I am, because that's way too fucking close for an archer.
Right about there. Right as you cleared the trees and that level of obstruction was gone, and it was just the fog and light and shadows out there. Yeah,
okay.
Like just a little ways past the line of giant bodies interspersed with trees that's left behind from the last couple of days worth of this battle. You see a hulking shape.
Okay. I'm still in the tree line?
Yeah.
Is my
Okay.
stuff going to happen first because of the time difference?
I'm going to treat you like a legendary action on all of your allies' turns. How's that sound?
What?
Okay.
So at the end of every turn, you can do something.
Okay.
Nice.
You're
You're like our god.
The god of the
Okay.
small hide. You know, like rent some small hide.
If I'm still in the tree line there, that's only a movement for Lovelace to get that far.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get to that point, we go stealth.
Okay, her action is to hide.
And I'm assuming you want to roll for that.
I would love a roll for that.
I don't appreciate your tone. 14.
Okay. Noted. Anything else on Lovely/ClickClack's turn? Are there arrows being fired?
I used my action to
To cast the spell.
Cast the spell.
Okay. Any other bonus actions?
No, that was it.
All right. End of that turn. Struana, you has options.
So the bullet is in range. So what I'm gonna be doing is casting a bunch of fireball spells at it.
Okay. Give me perception check to see whether you can tell that it's in range. You'll get advantage essentially because you have a lot of time per turn to check.
24.
24.
Good, because the first one was a 2. This is much better.
It occupies a lot of space. You're pretty sure you know about the range out, and that's gonna be from where you are, somewhere in the 90 to 100 feet range. You think there's some part of it moving through.
It's a good thing it's a 20-foot sphere. So, yeah, it's getting 4 of those.
Okay.
It's, let's see. It gets a dex saving throw. Each save is going to only take half damage.
I'll allow it. What's the DC? Rolled remarkably well for its creature type.
Is it 15? I think it's 15.
Okay. It seems to bob and duck and weave. You see ClickClack, you see it moving pretty lively. Like, it gets a lot of luck. She's kind of fire and blind. But you see it's now backlit in front of you in shadows. Would you like to roll me 4 sets of damage? Por favor? Yeah. Okay. I would love to see that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Okay. You hear screams from giants behind it too. But yeah, backlit in the gloom, the terrible figure before the line. And they burst forward. The giants charge past flow past the gargantuan creature, like literally several of them passing through its legs, and they're all crashing into a single spot in front of it, just engaging at exactly a single point, stacking themselves onto each other. They're actually using teamwork checks in ways that you had not seen them do before, and there are more coming behind them. And they burst violently into the trees. The trees were taking defensive stance. They've just been huddling and holding. Mechanically, they're all teamworking a dodge action. So very hard to breach, and they hold. For now. The giants do a lot of work and make a lot of noise, but don't do as much damage as it seems like it should. Legendary action, Struana. I said allies, but we'll do it every time. I know you are zippity quick.
Let's see. So I'm going to... Yeah, we're going to do it that way. So how many cantrips can I cast? That's really the question at this point. What is the... Can be the maximum amount, because I'm going with that anyway.
I mean, so far I've let you take 4 actions to a single round. I will let you know I have a pool of actions in my head that you're drawing from, like legendary actions. I'll let you know if you run out.
Okay. Well, Struana's intention is to basically play until she can't anymore.
Okay.
So she is just doing that. Like, there's not even a break between them. She's just standing there, like, basically until her body stops working and she has to stop for a bit.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to be alternating Chill Touch and Eldritch Blast. Both are ranged attacks.
Okay.
I can make as many as you want me to.
Like I said, 4 per turn, per initiative turn as legendary actions. You may take 4 actions, whatever they may be.
So
and I'll let you know if you run dry for the turn.
Is 6 plus 6. What it is. Where are you? Why can't I find you? Well, fuck, roll 20.
I've often said that.
Right. So you know these are ranged attacks, right, Eldritch? So these all have disadvantage because you're firing blind.
I don't think any of those were successful. I'm just going to save myself the rolling them again.
Okay, fair play.
Because none of them were successful.
A few of them do make contact with wood. There's a lot of wood between you and the giants, and a couple of those ones didn't go your way.
So it's alternating Chill Touch and Eldritch Blast. Neither the Eldritch Blast. So
okay.
Depending on which one makes contact with wood, the Eldritch is force, so it might actually make a tree explode.
No. Roll me the damage on it, and we'll see. Roll me 2 sets of damage.
For Eldritch or for the other one?
Eldritch.
That. But it has 3 beams, so 2 sets of damage looks like this. That.
Okay. There's a tree that seems confused by the damage from behind, but you know it gets it. Several stream by. It's combat. It doesn't take it personally. It's just a tree. You don't hit the tree in. The trees maintain their teamwork dodge action, holding the line. Stan. Oh, end of tree action. Any more shots? Just roll them fast. No? Okay. Stan, what are you doing?
So, quick question: this tree line that's between myself and the giants are those like trees, or are they fighting trees?
They are fighting trees. They are the trees. All of the trees that Snailroot has been able to grow.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, they're all animated.
And what's the visibility like currently?
60 feet to nothing. Like at 60 feet, you're doing. Oh God!
Oh Lord!
All right. At 60 feet, you are blind.
Okay. So I'm going to spend an action and cast Bless as my giant elk Lawrence charges forward at the nearest Fomorian.
Okay.
And the creatures I'm blessing are, see, I can do 3 creatures, my choice. So I'll do myself, ClickClack, and Lawrence.
Okay. And Lovelace, I assume. You said 3 creatures.
I only
and
can
yourself.
do 3.
Yeah, so ClickClack. Oh, 3 creatures and yourself, so ClickClack, Lovelace, Lawrence, and you. Yeah?
No, 3 creatures, including myself.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
So I can't get Loveless, but I can get ClickClack.
All right, so let's get Lawrence's charge attack on that Fomorian. Or were you going to do something as it's charging?
I was just going to let the Blessed get to roll a d4 on a saving throw or attack throw.
Okay.
Okay.
Stan surges through the trees. They part. Make way for you. God, that could talk.
So charge attack with into the nearest Fomorian hook, the sharp hooves. 17 plus
That's a hit.
6. Yeah. 23 total. Sweet. And since it was a charge, I get to add 2d6 to my 48. So 25 damage on the first for that, and let me roll the extra damage. 9. Ooh. Nice.
Nice.
So my elk is digging into Fomorian with bloodlust and pleasure.
All right. And you, now that you're up on it, you can see that this, all of these giants from about navel upward are just pin cushions. They all took a lot. They just absorbed a lot of that barrage, and now you're attacking their shins with antlers. It's beautiful.
How are you enjoying the handcrafted heritage arrow experience?
Artisanally crafted, locally sourced. Anything else, Stan?
I'm just looking at my bonus actions real quick. Don't require concentration. Everything requires concentration. That's decent.
It's almost like they did that on purpose.
Tell me about it, Graham. Tell me about it.
There's a feat.
Balance.
Warlocks especially, you get to pick one thing to do.
That's my turn.
Okay. End of Stan's turn. Legendary action. Struana.
Yeah. Yes. They're still about the same distance. We don't have a dramatic move forward yet. Right?
Nope.
Right.
There's been about 60 feet. Or about 60 feet of range. They have engaged.
Wait. I'm sorry. They're in the 60-foot range now? Or not?
About that.
They are in the 60-foot range.
Yeah.
Oh, well. That changes things a little bit.
Yeah, the measuring tool on Roll20 is accurate if you need it.
I just didn't know that you'd moved them. So one question is, are any of them wearing anything that appears to be metal?
No. Not the ones in the front line. Give me a perception test.
12.
Mm-mm.
This rolls better if it has more room to roll, as it turns out.
And technically that perception test is a disadvantage, but it's already a fail, so it's cool.
Okay.
That's
Thank you
nice
for
of you.
this.
Save you the shame.
So, sorry, I didn't realize they'd gotten that much closer that quickly, so I'm changing tactics mid-battle. 4 then. Alright. Those 2. So, 2 more ranged attacks, but I'm going to go with Eldritch Blast, basically because it actually hit last time. So, That
I-
18 and wait, are these at disadvantage?
Yes.
Okay, so the first one.
At the 60-foot range, I'm going to say no. Like at that point, you are not blinded. You've got targets. So.
Okay, so then it's 18 and 12 for the Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
One of those hits. I'll roll damage.
Okay.
I have a whole stack of actions that are all happening at the same time, but I'm going to roll damage for the Eldritch Blast. And honestly, just to make life easier, let's just say that all 3 beams are attacking the same one.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, like one of them that's engaging Stan, the lead.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to be protecting my friends whenever possible.
Okay.
And then the exciting steps that I just set down that I'm doing. Why did I set them down? No! Why did I set them down? Oh, yeah, you and you. I can only do one. So, here's a question about time and concentration.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work? Like,
your duration is based on where you're centered. So if you cast a spell outside, it's like an hour-long spell. It's not going to last even a round. If you cast a spell from outside to inside, it will last a very long time because you are holding it while the time is passing a very long time in there. So sorry about your buff spells is the short version.
Yes. Well, it also affects what I can concentrate on, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very short, essentially, concentration burst. So that becomes suddenly... Basically, concentration spells are shockingly less interesting all of a sudden.
Right.
So, Cloud of Daggers on whoever's attacking Stan.
Okay. And that is concentration, right?
It is concentration.
Right. So that will flash into existence for long enough to deliver its damage once.
But it also has the I can use a oh no, that's not this one. So okay, yes. Anyway. Yeah. That does a 12. Let me move that forward on.
And they have a dex save. Okay, so 12.
Okay. That was 3. Looking at my... I didn't realize we were in the 6-foot range. Totally gonna get there. Might be like a second.
Alright, can you just stack it on the next turn?
Do I need to... Can I cast multiple concentration spells in a row, considering that for me they're just gonna pop?
Yes.
Like, how's that gonna work? Alright.
Yes,
in
because
that
one
case,
will have faded before the other one goes, yeah.
In that case, I'm going to light up one of those giants with fairy fire, which anyone attacking them gets advantage.
Okay. That's not going to last a whole round. Just so you know. Like, anything like that, they're basically just going to blink for a brief instant from an outside view.
Oh, okay. In that case, we'll just all right. I'm understanding. Way to make it from fun to complicated, Thomas. Jeez.
You could just stand on the other side of the bubble and play the game like normal. Yeah.
I could, but this way I get I'm probably going to at some point, but I'm going to go ahead and still touch.
But
so
extra utility requires extra complexity.
Fair.
So, chill touch. Give me a roll.
One more ranged attack. That's what I'm doing. 24?
Plenty.
Okay. So that is a 3d8 damage, which I'm going to just put in the thing. And I'm done.
Okay.
Nice.
The next thing that happens is the beast leaps.
Oh.
Boom, boom, boom. And comes down about here and just completely engulfs whole 2 trees.
Oh.
Even with that. And you can see above it there's just like a whirling massive whip with a looks like some sort of massive creature's fang as a hook at the end, coming down towards the trees. Yes, ClickClack.
Did it step over me, on me, through me?
Over. It leapt. Struana, you've seen this happen with lesser bullets. And then it goes under the ground.
I don't even have time to shoot it in the dick.
Nope, sorry. No attacks of opportunity with ranged, man. That's...
What about claw attack?
I'd let it happen. Yes, I'll allow it.
What's Lovelace's attack bonus? It's been so long. 15 to hit. The undercarriage.
Her claw makes contacts and then just scrapes along the hide without
that
really
metal weapon she has.
Yeah. Because it has the reach. Yeah, it just doesn't seem to find much purchase.
All right.
Struana, you will have the option to act. And I will admit, I made a mistake with 4 actions. It was way too much. Let's go back to 1.
The land shark just jumped off the.
It leapt over the line and down into the ground. It's happening like as we speak in front of you in slow motion, epic slow-mo.
It free-willied, then tremored.
So Struana, like, seeing it happen totally has this immediate flashback and just, like, freezes for a second, and then there's, like, screaming in her own head of, like, pull yourself together, and is able to come back out of that instead of, like, losing it, but there's, like, this, like, white noise in the back of her head that's a little bit distracting. Here we go, then. She's going to... Where are you? My card's all over the place.
Can everybody involved, before we do that, make me a perception? There's a good chance you would have seen this.
I can perception.
Everybody's at disadvantage for one reason or another on this one, except for Struana. Like, trees visibility.
It's a 9. I'm at disadvantage because I just freaked out.
Okay.
Doesn't matter when I roll the second time.
Well,
17.
That is enough. You see that the rider did not submerge underneath the ground and is coming at full tilt toward you, Struana.
Oh, you
madness in his eyes, and you see opening up in front of you as you have the opportunity to act, like plates that are welded to it are pulling aside discomfortingly, and inside the chest is a massive eye. Its head is starting to tilt back unnaturally far, like its neck muscles are pulling open like the top of an eyelid and tear duct there. Just and it seems like something awful is about to happen.
This thing's getting ready to Death Star you.
Golly gosh, gee, this seems like an awful good time for a dimension door, doesn't it? This seems like exactly 100% why I have this spell. This is why. So, my jerk face is, grabbing anything I like. If I don't have anything on me, I'm like literally reaching out and grabbing it. Or if now it's just us, everyone else is significantly taller than me. And I'm going to David. I'm going to ClickClack. Okay. I'm going to go literally try and appear on top, like behind you, on Lovelace. Like, what is the safest place I can think of? It's technically underneath her, but she might, like, squish me, so...
Right, within 400 feet, the safest place you can think of?
Backpack.
One more time?
David, one more time?
So you're sitting on a backpack?
Yep.
Alright.
Or anyway.
And Baylor, as you exit, enters the time bubble, and you see it going off from behind. Like there's definitely like a massive ray of spatial distortion that comes out and immediately locks Snailroot into combat. And they are locked into, from now your perspective, it's like watching Duel of the Fates on like times 42 fast forward for over and over, just like zipping around. Yep, that's happening.
Bonus action to speak.
It's free action to speak.
Okay. ClickClack, we need to protect the heart.
More gnomish swearing. Fine.
Some things come across.
He's like he points at the group of giants like a kid pointing at a playground you're not letting him visit.
As long as you don't just like sit down and start crying about it and I have to drag you, I'm okay.
No. Like he like did that gesture. Goes fine, and he's gonna go help the Snailroot. He just, like the rest of this trip, he'll do it. He's just not happy about it.
Are you able to leave Lovelace because I can walk us back there now? I can Dimension Door us, poof us right back in there.
You're no longer a legendary action. You are now. You have rejoined the time frame.
But I'm having the like. Do you want to go now? Because I can have us there now.
In the time you're taking to ask me this, I could head back myself.
All right.
It's true. It is, in point of fact, the top of the initiative at ClickClack. So while Struana is asking,
the giants out here, are they like shoulder to shoulder, or there's just not room back?
Yeah, it's like a rugby scrum. Like they're not just shoulder to shoulder; they're piling over each other to try and get over and to the next tree. They've suddenly got a plan. The plan is terrible.
Okay. I have a weird question. Can I see this one?
Yes.
From my angle.
No problem.
Well, just because there's one in front of him, I wasn't sure.
Well, I mean, they're not, like, actively hiding one another or anything. Yeah.
Right. I shoot an arrow at him and cast Hail of Thorns.
Okay. I think that's a dex save. Or is that just attack on an
That's
area?
right. Dexterity saving throw. Yeah.
What's the DC on that?
What is the DC on that? That's an excellent question.
Remarkably, dex, not really a giant's top priority.
You think I'd remember my DC by now, but numbers. 15.
All right, then neither of them succeed. Full damage.
Well, first I have to hit the guy.
Oh, got it.
I have to hit the main target, and then, yeah. This stuff was easier to remember when I was only playing one game at a time.
Right?
A 29 to hit.
That's a lot.
Okay, so the main guy takes regular damage plus the bonus damage, and then everyone else just takes the bonus damage.
Okay. And don't forget your sneak attack. They are all engaged in melee with allies.
Does the sneak attack affect them too?
I would not say it affects the burst.
Right. It affects the main
Right.
guy though.
Because that's an AoE with a dex save. It's not a ranged attack.
Right. Okay.
Sneak attack only is on attacks.
Yes. 3D. Okay, the main guy takes 30. Oh, that's terrible. 37 damage. With rolling 2 1s in the same turn.
All right, that one dies. That one has been taking many. Oh wait, no. Actually, that one's in better shape than the one in front of it. Sorry, you targeted a different one.
Well, fine then. And the rest of them take 25 damage.
All right, this one dies. The one on the lead just drops, and a couple of them have to sort of stumble because they were being supported by that one.
So I say fine to Struana. I turn back. I shoot. I do that, and then we charge back into the bubble.
Okay.
Lovelace's full turn is just full on backtracking, and right behind Cyclops there with his.
Are
I'm
you
really
going to
hoping.
disengage?
Mhm.
Are you going to disengage? You are within reach of a giant.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, with Long Strider, you can probably make that, right? Okay.
I literally get there.
So just right at the edge of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of like mid transition probably.
Right. The
But-
next few steps will take you through.
So ClickClack, swore at Struana, agreed to go help, fired off a multi-shot basically, and then ran after Boss Man. I do what I'm told.
More giants. Oh,
I'm really
yes.
hoping that Stan heard that over the earring. Basically, that we have that whole bit.
Right. That's happening.
Yep.
Yes. Like it would have gone out.
Yeah.
That's what that. Yeah.
The giants are piling forward. the more surge out of the mist to pile onto the ones that were coming in. And this time, like, the line begins to falter. They start making shove attacks. The ones in back are using their evil eye to do pain damage to the trees in front, and it's charisma saves are not an animated tree's best thing. And like several of them start to wither under that curse, and the line begins to falter. Like it's getting in dire straits. ClickClack, if you would like to engage... Oh, no, you're not in yet. Never mind. Struana, you are on the back of ClickClack, or of Lovelace, just about through into the fast-forward world in which two titans are bashing away at each other.
I am holding action until we're actually through it, like, until I can actually attack the titan in his own... Yeah. Does that work? What am I
well, I will let you know that, remember, you are now on the converse side of that concentration problem. Just throwing that out there if that helps.
Okay, so if it's just like I have this turn and then we're going to be inside of there, I'm going to go ahead and at least cast one more Eldritch Blast on some giant.
Okay.
Probably whoever's attacking Stan. That seems to be the thing. So, am I still at disadvantage for the range?
Yes. Some more now? Yes.
19? No, 18?
Plenty.
Other direction, 20.
Even more plenty. Even plentier.
Like, add one, not subtract one, Diamond. I know what this is. So that's 16 force damage at the guy.
Nice.
And Stan, I hope you, and over the headphone, like, Stan, we're going back inside because we have to protect the heart.
Okay.
Be safe, come safely, don't die, not with the dying.
The trees shift to reinforce the line. They bring the far side in. They realize pretty quickly what's happening. They can't move quickly, but the far side of the circle comes inward to attempt to reinforce Snailroot, and those that were toward the center are moving to sort of reinforce where the giants are just pouring in. They're focusing everything on one point, just trying to break through. And that's going to be a lot of time of me moving tree tokens, so I'm not going to put you through that before we move on the turns. But I am going to make... Oh, no, and they all continue to take defensive tree actions, or defensive dodge actions. The ones behind seem to be readying... You know what? Actually, some of the reinforcements are beginning to hit them from one flank. One of the tree ants is feeling offensive. The others are focusing on defense. Stan is up. As I get all those trees moved around, you are at the tip of the assault. You are literally in the middle of the giant rampage. You are exactly where they flowed into to attempt to break this line. There's no further you could be in the thick of it unless they run past you.
Okay. I want to be here, but I'm supposed to go back, they say.
You're not sure they'll hold very long.
Here?
Yeah, the pressure is immense, and they're outnumbered 10-1.
Stan, I think the best thing you can do might be to just stay there and be the best fighter on the field.
Yeah. I agree, Stan. Let's fight some more giants. I need to hold the line. So I'm gonna start swinging my hammer. And, maybe not with that roll. See, I'm still blessed, I get 1d4. But, I have a sweet bonus to hit, too.
Yeah, don't forget.
Not hard to hit. 17.
That is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 is more than plenty, it turns out. But, so save that bless. Unless it's not something you save.
It's whenever a target makes an attack roll.
Just as long as you're concentrated.
Yeah. 14 damage. From the hammer swing to this one right in front of me.
All right.
And
that's the same one that Lawrence charged into you. Yeah.
I believe so.
It's hard to tell. A lot of legs look the same.
Yeah. And can I reach any others from my where I'm standing?
No, but it's really only like 5 feet to any of them. Like an easy move that's not going to provoke any attacks because you're not leaving any ranges.
Well, then I hit again with the hammer strike. 16 damage.
Same target?
Yeah.
Okay. This time, like you nailed it at essentially the same spot, and this time you hear some bone splinter.
And now Lawrence rears up for a hoof attack. At 16.
That is enough.
Oh wait, no, that's not the right damage rolls. That was 48. $19 damage. Just tears up his flesh with the sharp hooves of the thigh.
Ouch. Yeah, it's like this has all been a concentrated attack on one leg, and it's starting to buckle. Like it's basically holding weight from other giants that are pushing forward, and it's probably going to collapse before long. Bonus actions. Anything else? Movement?
Nope.
All right. Then the next thing that happens is the bullet. Like you hear the ground stand between you and ClickClack rumbling, and the bullet just comes up behind the line and snaps its jaws at a whole cluster of trees.
Oof.
Really don't like this guy.
You hear wood snapping and breaking. Trees don't scream, but you know the sound that wood makes as it's falling. Through the mist, rumbles the sound of one tree just going down and being chewed, and this thing's getting a little extra fiber today. It's not what it's used to eating, but it's what it was commanded to swallow, so fine. But yeah, just a massive, basically a beak rending these trees. Motion continues inside. Nothing pleasant goes on inside the bubble. ClickClack, top of the initiative.
Inside, the two of them are already locked in combat.
And have been for like a day.
Right.
There were a few moments actually where both of them like stepped aside, and it was only an instant, but in the fast forward, you could tell that both of them were catching their breath. Like,
okay. I move inside the bubble.
Okay.
But not right up next to the dude.
Right. Kind of laterally. All right.
Because I'm a smart character and I wouldn't do that. Yeah, we kind of horizontally enter the sphere.
Okay.
Are they currently like?
Yes, they are locked in place. Like the whip is slashing. The tree is wielding a massive staff, like about a 30-foot tall staff. The big old gnarled root club at the head.
I'm getting bored just shooting things. I'm gonna try something that probably won't work, but it amuses me. I summon a giant constrictor snake on top of him.
How big is that?
Above him, and how big?
Yeah. Is that a huge creature, right?
Huge.
Okay.
Classification huge.
All right. That attack will go off immediately.
Okay.
And just the one at your level?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a yeah. That's as big as I can get him right now. Natural 20.
Nice.
That's a 26 to constrict.
And then it does an auto grapple, right? And it can attempt to. That's a bite attack with an auto grapple that it can attempt to escape later, right?
Hits bludgeoning damage, and the target is grappled.
Okay.
You said 20? Natural 20? Like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, I've missed the poppers.
He is restrained until he can break the grapple. Escape DC.
And that's an action.
But he has an action to try to do that.
Yep.
Until then, he's restrained.
Yep.
And that also does a little bit of damage that he probably won't care about. Oh, 18 damage. Not nothing.
That is not nothing.
And that's it for me right now.
Okay. Outside, so we're gonna pause a little on ClickClack until everybody else gets in. I think it's gonna be fast, but you're there for a day. Just so you know, before everybody gets in, like it's hours of fighting. So
I'm on Lovelace. That shouldn't be the same thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
So it's just stand outside that's going to be very slow. Okay.
There's a
Stay on the left.
Outside, the giants
Explode!
I'm gonna be treating you guys like legendary actions again. Everybody inside the bubble until you're all together. Stan, does a 22 currently hit you?
No.
How about a 26?
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm going to need you to make 3 charisma saves.
Because they're looking at you.
Yep.
$21, 10, 13.
Hike.
Okay. So
A good spread.
a moment while I math. So that's 29 on the first one. So for half, you know what? I'm just gonna call it average damage on 68 is 24. So you failed one, so you're gonna take 12, 24, and 12 psychic damage.
All right.
And Lawrence is gonna need to make 1. There's one giant that thinks Lawrence is a bigger problem because it keeps moving his shin.
Aw, 9.
Alright, so he will also take 24 psychic damage, racked with pain.
He makes agony sounds. It's sad.
I would make Lawrence Welk references if anyone get them.
So legendary actions at the end of the giant's turn. Everybody inside gets to do a thing if you want, inside or outside.
Do a thing.
Yeah.
Take one action. Take one action.
Even if it's add something inside the bubble.
Yes.
Okay. Surprise, surprise. I'm shooting at the beginning. Does a 19 hit?
It does.
Fantastic. 10 plus.
As its action at about the same time, like it doesn't change a thing. It misty steps out of your snake and to the other side of snail root, about 30 feet.
Trail root is derogatory. How dare you, sir?
And then hit snail root with a slow spell.
This is mean.
Snail root does not save. Struana.
40 damage on one hit.
Nice.
I just like
The armor seems to take a lot of that. You can see some cracking out through, as though there may be some damage resistance at play.
Can we see the entertainment in the baddie casting a slow spell on snail root? Who has made the slow bubble? Like,
Yeah.
Stacking on the time layers.
On this round, does the snake get an attack?
Yes.
Never mind.
no! Me? Yes? Okay.
Struana?
It's fine.
So as soon as we hit the time bubble here, I am going to start being like playing this like overly dramatic, very you imagine a great bass line would go to this, and on snail root, like above ground root system, whatever part's above ground, like literally standing on him, there's this very tall, very lanky, red suspender, red mullet wearing, patch on one eye that mimics the patch on my eye, glitter throwing, very dramatic Guardian of Faith.
Lou Reed.
And if I remember right, Balar must immediately make a save, which it makes.
Dex save.
Okay.
Half damage, and it's 20 radiant damage. I specifically put it on Snail Root so that whenever Snail Root moves, it's literally just attached to him.
Okay.
It
I'm not sure if that's how that works. It's
Also, remember, attacks on the bad guy right now are at advantage, and his attacks are at disadvantage.
yes, but not saves.
Dexterity saves.
He has disadvantage on dex saves.
It's part of restrained.
Oh, he Misty stepped out of restrained.
Oh.
In that case, I am putting him between. What is the baddie's name again? We just keep calling him that.
Baylor.
Baylor. Between Baylor and Snail Root,
Okay.
as close to Snail Root as possible.
All right.
And yeah.
We're just
So,
going to keep calling him every other name.
A full hit is 20. A half hit is going to be 10. He'll disappear at 60.
Okay.
Dumb.
Next, on the outside, the trees on the edge are beginning their attack. They're beginning to essentially close in and start grinding. The other thing that happens at this point, now that it's engaged, is the shimmerlings that have been all over the area begin to concentrate sort of right around in front of you. Stand like sort of about here. Like right in the middle of the pile, and just like begin like hypnotic waves through the giants. It doesn't affect you at this range, and you're not the target, but you can see them just rolling through up and around, and like swaths being taken out of giant flesh as these little traveling mobs pass along them.
Like piranha.
Like glowing sky piranhas. Yes, that is a lot. Like they're only sentient impacts. Otherwise, they're just vicious. But it's a feeding frenzy. Man, it's beautiful. Like this may be the most surreally beautiful combat that you have been involved in, Stan. You're up.
So far.
So far.
So this monster that popped out of the ground behind me, is it still above the ground?
Yes, it has not had a chance to do anything yet.
And it has a rider?
No, not anymore. It deposited its rider. Its rider is now engaged with Snail Root.
Alright, I wanna jump off my elk and jump onto this.
I am going to give that an athletics check or acrobatics, your choice.
Any advantage for being awesome?
I'm going to give it a point of inspiration.
Well, I do
Action
get...
point, like exalted.
So as an athletics check, 23.
Okay. You leap over and like grab. I mean, the saddle is giant sized, like the riding apparatus, but you manage to grab onto like one massive buckle loop that's holding one of the leather straps to a bridle, and you are now on the thing. I'll call that your movement action. What else you got? I'm also going to say briefly, one giant managed to hit you on the attacks of opportunity. It would have been a crit, except for your adamantine. So that's going to be 11 bludgeoning.
All right.
Glancing blow.
I guess I'm going to try animal handling. Oh, but I rolled 4. I rolled 4 total.
It is not in the least impressed by the little man hanging just behind its like ear hole. It's like, easy, big fella.
You don't know me like that.
Bonus actions? Anything else?
Lawrence will attack the with his hooves.
Okay.
The Fomorian right in front of it. Ooh, I'm not rolling well this turn. That's 11 total.
Less.
Yeah. About to roll that d4.
Oh, actually, would you just go ahead and give me like 2 concentration checks before we apply that last plus? Because you've taken some damage. So it'll be Constitution saves, is what those are.
Constitution saves?
Yeah, sorry I didn't have you do that at the time. Plenty. Also,
23 and
also fine. You're in good shape. Roll his bless.
I got 4, so 15 total.
That's a hit.
Yay! 48. 19 damage. He tears into the flesh.
Falters, just like between the weight of the Fomorians on top and behind it, and all the damage on that leg, it just falls to one side and is then crushed underneath the scrum.
I need a break.
Anything? Yep, we are about there. And there's just, if anybody has what they want to do inside the circle, and then that would be a great time for a moment.
I'm just gonna shoot at it a lot. I can wait.
Okay. Well, make your rolls. Make your rolls. Your damage rolls. Struana, are you doing anything I need to roll about?
I'm doing another cloud of daggers on his head place.
Okay. Is Guardian of Faith concentration?
Nope.
Okay.
That's part of the reason I love him. I can stick him up and ignore him for a minute.
Roll your damage. Still, dexterity, not his thing. He sort of like he rolls up, tries to get out of the cloud, but is not particularly successful. As arrows are streaming into it.
That's 10, but it's spicy. It's fun.
An 18 and a 14 to hit.
Okay.
Which one's hit?
The 18 is a hit.
You also still have bless, by the way.
I know. Oh, that was terrible. I'm saving it for if I really need it for something.
You can use it all the time. It doesn't go away.
Yep.
So if you want to try to use it on that 14.
Is it?
Attacks and saves.
Yeah, whenever a target makes an attack roll or saving throw before the spell ends, which is a minute.
And it's a minute for Stan, which means as long as Stan's out there, you guys are gonna have it. Like 10 days. 10 days. You're blessed.
20.
Okay.
So 37 on the first hit. Don't get sneak attack. 35 on the second.
Beautiful. Like, yeah, you are like the clearly. It's like you're hitting him with acupuncture needles in all of the worst acupuncture spots. Like you see every spot gets a reaction.
Well, I do know what all those spots are.
Just gonna pin cushion him like the Chinese acupuncture diagram, just like.
Here are the parts that hurt. Can the snake move in and try to attack again?
It can.
6, 3. That's 25. Wow.
Nice.
Snail Root casts a mass healing.
Very slowly.
Everybody inside and out heals 31 hit points.
Wow.
Yay! I needed that.
35 hit points.
He's restrained and takes 17 points of damage.
Okay.
There's a snake wrapped around again.
Oh, he's so sick of that shit.
That was the plan.
And on its turn, it again like lifts up its chin, and that giant eye from its center opens up, and it's only gonna hit people inside the circle. It like the range to the line of trees is not enough if it's gonna get you guys. Everybody needs to make me a charisma save inside the circle, including Stanford.
Even the people behind him?
Mm-hmm. It's a cone. Like now that you actually see it, the like there's a blast that comes out of it. It's not a gaze thing. It's not perception. Like so something is being ejected forcefully from it. Some magical
I didn't
force.
realize he was looking our direction. I thought he was fighting someone.
That's a 19.
18.
High five, man. Yeah, right there.
Actually, I need to check what her...
Bless counts for saves.
What?
Bless counts for saves. Don't forget.
I mean, like, if a 19 won't do it, really?
It's plus 1d4. And
it's can roll.
Struana, you made it. Struana, you made it. I'm not talking to you. They're blessed. I
didn't know.
So Bless is plus a d4 for saves?
Yes, not advantage, yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, I got an 18. Lovelace failed hard.
Okay.
She has a 3 charisma. Score.
Yeah, that's not gonna. So that's gonna be. That was a pretty low damage roll. That is gonna be 21 damage, unless you saved, in which case it's half of that. So round out of 10. And again, it's just like searing pain straight through your nervous system. Like you're being introduced to the memory of the pain of something that you can't comprehend. And that is a great place to take a little break. We will be back in a moment. This is GameBreakers. If you like what you see, hit like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And if you want to see it get better, hit up our Patreon. Meanwhile, this is Allison, David, and Diamond, and we'll be right back.
Okay.